G'day nerds, Luke here. Thank you for watching the Predator 2018 movie review. That is what this video is going to be. Unorthodox, like most things I've done in life. I am not going to break down and analyse and talk about every single aspect and part of this movie. I am going to talk about the main talking points, which are the ending, not to be confused with the end fight scene, which I'm also going to talk about, and just generally what I liked, what I didn't like, whether or not I recommend it, and just dialogue to that effect. So, fair warning. Spoilers. This video is going to be riddled with spoilers. Now, for those of you that just want to know whether or not I thought the movie was good or bad, and you want to see it yourself so you don't want spoilers, right now, right at the beginning of this movie, I'm going to tell you that the movie runs for 106 minutes. The last 6 minutes of the movie were dog shit. The previous 100 minutes of the movie were absolutely fantastic, without a doubt. I love this movie and was very entertained. The last 6 minutes of the movie were dog shit. Did it spoil the whole movie? To you, I think for some, most definitely it did. For me, no. Like, the proof is in the pudding, right? So like 2150 for my VMAX ticket, 2150, and then the Predator 4 movie collection on Blu-ray, $69.95 here in Australia. I would not have paid $69.95 for 3 movies, right? Like I would not have paid $69.95 for a box set for 3 movies and one that I'm probably never going to watch again. I love this movie, and I don't have a bad word to say about any of the Predators from any of the Predator franchise. A lot of the hate that I think this movie gets, the Predator 2018, comes from the comic book fanboys, which we know they can be across any sort of franchise of a movie. The comic book fanboys can be the most outspoken and outrageous and fanatical ones. So what they sort of go into outrage over is when a movie, or like the script of the movie and the franchise, doesn't follow to the lore of their comic books and what they've been reading for all those years. Now, my take on that is that movies and comic books aren't the same. There's no law, for lack of better terminology, there's no law that says that a movie franchise has to follow the lore of the comic books, and the directors and the producers can spin the movies in whatever direction they want. There's no law that says that it has to follow. I mean, yeah, sure, I'm not going to deny that it's probably better that it does. Like it's probably better to retell a story in movie form from the lore of a comic book. That does make sense. I'm not going to deny that, but it doesn't have to. So the fact that this movie doesn't... My introduction to the Predator was back in 96, 94, when I was like 10 or 12 years of age, and I watched the first Predator with Dutch and the Predator in the very first one, right? That was my introduction to so I love the movies. I bought the box set. I know nothing about the comic books. I don't give a shit about the comic books. I want to see good movies and pay for good movies, hence why I bought the 4-pack of the Blu-ray, because it was a good movie. Now, we're going to be getting into spoiler technology. We're going to be getting into spoiler territory. I don't know why I got technology and territory. I don't know. I think it's because I'm about to talk about something with technology in it. So I just got ahead of myself. I'm going to show, for those of you that just want to be like, oh, okay, well, show me why the ending was dog shit. Obviously, for copyright purposes, as much as I'd love to, and as much as I think that I should be entitled to, because of how much I've spent on the movies and clearly shown that I've paid for my fair share for these movies to be produced, I think I should be able to show a 3 to 6 minute clip of the ending to tell you why I thought it was bad, but I can't, so I can only do this. That's right there. That monstrosity right there is why the ending was absolutely dog shit for Predator 2018. Again, did it spoil the whole movie? No. It was disappointing ending, but it didn't spoil the whole movie, right? Like it's unfortunate. Now, you could ask me, like you could say, well, if you thought the ending of the movie was dog shit, come up with a better one. I can't and I haven't yet. I kind of have, but it's a little underwhelming. So I'm going to talk about, so sticking with the ending of the movie, a lot of people suggest that an Arnold Schwarzenegger cameo would have been better than the ending that we got. And I have spent the best part of 6 months trying to come up with, like in my head, an Arnold cameo, like an ending. And it just doesn't make any sense because, yes, sure, his character was in the original. He defeated one of the Predator, the Yautja. They're actually their comic book. Their race is the Yautja, right? Like that's you got the human race, you got the Yautja, which are the predators. This whole movie is based around this predator suit, right? Like it's one of the Yautja, one of the honorable Yautja have stolen this predator technology, and he's in a spaceship chase at the beginning of the movie by one of these freaking super predators things here chasing him down, to bring us this technology. Now, we don't know why, right? They don't tell you, and you never found out why he risked his life, because he does die. The predator that brings us this technology, we don't know why he's bringing it to us, but he is, and that's what his gift is to us. Now, a lot of people wish that the gift was an Arnold Schwarzenegger cameo, whereas for what purpose? I mean, come up with a storyline. Like they just say I just would have preferred an Arnold cameo. It just would have been so much more exciting. But then, try and come up with a script as to why. Like, he already fought and killed one of them, and so then the only way that they could be giving him back to us is if at some point they had kidnapped him for whatever reason, like maybe to study and analyze why he was so superior. Maybe, yeah, okay, that's cool, but why would they be giving him back? And for what for? Like, why would they want to give him back? Like, when the Predators and the Yautja are known for kidnapping the best of our best, special forces and all that sort of stuff to hunt them down, why would they want to give him back? It just doesn't make any sense. Now, some other people have said a Ripley, from Aliens cameo would have been really interesting. Really? I'm not going to deny it. I love the Alien franchise. Ripley in Aliens, where she saved Newt from the Queen Mother in that mechanical friggin' yellow suit thing. Amazing. But she died. Right, like at some point in time between Aliens and Alien Resurrection, she died. She got face hugged and turned into an alien. She's gone. How long are you going to milk that cash cow for? How long are you going to whore on Ripley's character? She died. Stop. Create something else. Come up with a new character. She died. You can a Ripley cameo would what? Look, open up the pod and it's like a Ripley droid, a synthetic. What? No. Not going to hear it. Don't want to hear it. These things, let me just... the Predator dogs, oh my God. They looked absolutely amazing. I've got no idea if the Predator dogs, if it was just like a Rottweiler or like a Turner and Hooch dog, which I can't... It's like it's the Board Oaks or whatever the Turner and Hooch dog is. I don't know if they just like put like a costume over one of those and then trained it to play the part, or if the dog was CGI. The Predator, the Super Predator, was definitely CGI. No one in this world, I don't think, is 11'7" tall, except maybe that Korean basketballer. He might be very tall. I don't even know. Whatever. So they looked awesome. The Predator dogs. The Super Predator looked absolutely awesome. I really can't come up with an ending. Actually, I've got an ending, and it's a little bit underwhelming, but it's the best I can come up with. Instead of opening the pod with the Predator suit, it would have been better if the pod had have contained schematics, some materials of Predator technology. See, that's why I got confused before. That's why I said technology instead of whatever word I should have used before, because that's what I was thinking in my head. So it would have been nice if the pod had have had like predator technology schematics and maybe some materials that, you know, our engineers and scientists could reverse engineer to make our soldiers better and stuff like that. It's, again, see, like, it's a little bit underwhelming and a little bit sort of, oh, well, yeah, maybe, but so let's take a look at it here, right? Like, let's go back here. Let's go back to this one. So if we take a look at, what did I want to use up here? This guy. That's predominantly Yautja, the Honourable Yautja. That's how they dress. They will equip their armour on the certain side of their body, depending on the battle, that they know that they're most likely going to get attacked on. So obviously, as you can see here, you can imagine this Yautja has, you know, kitted himself out knowing that he's probably going to get hit mostly on this side and that he's probably going to have some sort of cover or camouflage, you know, on this side. So he, rather than weigh himself down with full body armor, you know, he's decked himself out in, you know, and they all do that, right? Like, so look at this guy here, like, right? Like, so it's probably the same dude as this one. No, actually, it's different because the marking on his helmet is different. But again, armor kitted out on the side of the body that he knows. There's only one difference. Where is it? This big monster right here. Like, look at this dude, full body armor. Wrist mounted thingy here, wrist blade over here, and then just, wow, look, his abdomen's and his side here are showing a little bit. They're not covered, but pretty much all his upper body, his vitals are just covered in armor, and it's layered like that. And then, you know, you scroll down to where's the monstrosity? This fucking monstrosity right here. This just absolute garbage. Right, look at these shoulder cannons protruding outside the body. Look. How are you meant to walk through doors? Like, what? No, just no. Honestly, it was the ending, and this Predator suit reveal was just garbage. I mean, I guess with those freaking shoulder-mounted cannons, you could shoot your way through doors. But I mean, like, look at this. Like, look at how that shoulder-mounted cannon. Right, it's not protruding his body, and it's maybe no bigger than probably like a large handgun. Right, like it's literally, and it's very, very powerful. This Predator suit here, garbage, absolute trash. But again, didn't spoil the movie. The Predator dogs were amazing. The Super Predator was amazing. Now, on the Super Predator and the end fight scene, I have watched. Look, I'm not going to name shame anyone, but a lot of the reviews, 6 or 7 reviews that I've watched, they've all said that they feel that the end fight scene with the Super Predator was underwhelming. A couple of reviewers compared it to the original Predator with Arnold Schwarzenegger, Dutch, where he fights that sort of elite, very, very capable and a very skilled Yautja. They compare the end fight scene of Predator 2018 to that, which I'm not going to say is flat out wrong, but I'm just not sure if it's a fair comparison. So back in the 80s, a lot of the action movies that were produced then were about alpha male types, you know, alpha male taking on all opponents and all that sort of stuff, you know, and the Predator, the original one, it was about, you know, alpha male versus creature from a different world, mono y mono, you know, my alpha male, you know, me versus my opponent, you know, that's what it was, that's what it was about. This was more of about, like, you know, fast forward 20 years, or actually no, 80s, fast forward 30 years, 40, getting close to 40 years. Holy shit, 2020, it'll be 40 years. Holy shit. So fast forward, you know, like you've got, 35 years, yeah. So fast forward, 2019, the narrative that they're trying to spin is not about alpha males anymore. It's about humans working together, special forces, groups, team, more efficient, get things done better as a unit type of narrative. So the fact that you've put these special forces in this movie not against the regular Yautja, you've put them against a Super Predator. You couldn't just have one alpha male taking on a Super Predator. You just couldn't. It's just wrong to compare the. It's flat out wrong, and you just can't compare this one to the original. The original, most definitely, very exciting ending, very exciting fight scene, definitely a masterpiece, right? So if you were to ask me my top 5 end fight scenes of any action movie, number 1 would be Enemy of the State with Will Smith. FBI mafioso standoff in a kitchen somewhere, and just an absolute bloodbath. Amazing end fight scene in the movie, easily number 1. Next would be Aliens versus Predator, the first one. Sana Lathan teams up with one of the Yautja, the Predators, to take down the Queen Mother. That end fight scene, regardless of how much you think the movie was dog shit, the end fight scene saved it and was absolutely spectacular. Third would be Aliens with Ripley in that yellow mech suit, taking down the Queen Mother, saving Newt. Number 4, I haven't decided on yet, but number 5 would easily be end fight scene Predator 2018. So going back to the reviews that I watched, people said that the end fight scene of Predator 2018 was underwhelming, it wasn't exciting, and they felt that the Super Predator was taken down way too easily. I paused at a couple of those reviews and sort of looked around my room, and I'm like, were we watching the same end fight scene? And I scratched my head and I'm like, say that again. And they did. They literally, I just rewinded their video a little bit, and they say they felt the end fight scene of Predator 2018 was underwhelming, it wasn't exciting, and the Super Predator was taken down way too easily. I'm not going to harp on that, and I'm not going to, go on it too much, but my recap and my recount of the end fight scene was as follows. He is watching 2 groups of special forces, special operative type humans fighting and killing each other. There's a bunch of them, right? So they're all shooting each other. They're fighting over the Predator spaceship, trying to get on board. Well, actually, one group is trying to recover, the leader's kid who's been kidnapped because he has autism and can get on board the Predator ship to get the technology for the Special Forces operatives. So the other Special Forces operative group is trying to fight them to get the kid back. So they're fighting each other. The Super Predator's there watching the whole time. He decides to join in because he can see that they're about to steal his technology. There's a fight scene. He just absolutely obliterates and annihilates a bunch of the Special Forces dudes, and then he just the Super Predator. I'm really disappointed that they killed him off, and I hope we get to see another one. I actually hope that they come up with a sequel that's like Super Predator 2020 or something like that. It would be absolutely awesome. He was probably my favorite character in the whole movie, if I'm being completely honest. So he just, he kills a bunch of the Special Forces dudes, and then, he just gets past them, and then he alphas the shit out of the scene, and literally just walks on board, opens the door of his Predator ship, and goes and sets detonators. He's taking a bunch of fire from all sorts of different firearms and stuff like that, and just he literally goes in there, starts setting detonators. End fight scene, by the way, and just across the translator that they've got set up for the Predator technology in their language, he just literally uses it against them, translates that he detects 14 of them out there, that one of them among the 14 will be his prize, is the alpha of the group, and he's giving them a 7-minute head start. So they all all right, so we got to work together. All 14 of them that have just been fighting and killing each other come together, and they start to head off into the woods because they've just been told that they're going to be brutally murdered so that the Predator can take his trophy. And so that literally happens. They all die except 3 of them. The Super Predator just absolutely obliterates all of them. My recount or recapping of the just different firearms and explosions that he took, a plethora of 9mm, 5.4, 5.56, 7.62, 3 claymores, a grenade, and at some point there he was set ablaze and literally on fire from head to toe. And I watched this movie not last night but the night before, and I'm watching this end fight scene and recalling what people have said about it, and I'm like, are we watching and reviewing the same movie? Like, I definitely see in your title you've got Predator 2018 review, but we can't be reviewing the same movie. The end fight scene was nothing short of spectacular and very entertaining. Top 5. I've been watching movies. I'm 35 years of age. I've been watching movies since I was 10 or 12. This end fight scene was spectacular. I loved it. So how he gets taken out is after he obliterates 11 of them. It's the Doc, played by Olivia Munn. I don't remember what her character's name is, but I'm just going to call her the Doc. She is one of the survivors. The kid, Rory McKenna, which is Quinn McKenna, Boyd Holbrook's son in the movie, who has autism. The prize for the Super Predator is not actually Quinn McKenna, the alpha of the group. It's his son, Rory, who has autism and is very smart. Now, throughout the movie, the Super Predator, I mean, it's intelligent, but it's more alpha and more about, you know, tanking bullets with its exo sort of skeleton suit that it can absorb a lot of bullets, and its firepower with its wrist-mounted blade and its little just sheer, like, you know, it's going to tank all your bullets and then close range and then grab you and just absolutely obliterate the shit out of you. Like, that's how it, you know, and it does that very well, and it's very spectacular when it comes into play in the movie. Absolutely awesome. So there's literally just 3 left: the Doc, the kid, and Quinn McKenna. So they're fighting the Super Predator. I can't quite remember now. 2 days later, at some point it loses its left arm. Right now, I'm just going to show you. I don't have a better picture to show you, but where is it? Here. So this is the Predator in the movie. It's got its wrist-mounted projectile fire blade, right? That thing there shoots off its wrist and travels at an ungodly amount of feet per second. When it hits you, it just splits you in two and just absolutely obliterates you. So the wrist-mounted fire blade on the Super Predator is obviously a lot larger and a lot sharper and a lot bigger than that. It loses its left arm, which that thing is attached to. It falls to the ground where Quinn McKenna picks it up, and his son throws him some sort of explosive device, attaches it to the blade, shoots it at the Super Predator, gets him in the leg, blows him up. Meanwhile, the Doc is attached, like she's holding on, trying to wrestle its head, trying to like gouge its eyes and stuff like that. She's trying to wrestle it. The explosion isn't big enough that it takes her out. The Super Predator has now lost an arm and a leg, and is laying on the ground in a lot of trouble. Quinn McKenna stands up, pulls out his sidearm, proceeds to ask it what it is, says, "What the fuck are you?" And then he goes to reply, "What the fuck are you?" back, being a smarty. And Quinn McKenna just empties the magazine of the handgun in his face, and he dies. That's the end fight scene. So I'm not really sure what was underwhelming or not exciting about that. Obviously, me trying to retell it to you guys versus what actually happens in the movie and all the stuff that I've missed out on in between all that, I've just tried to cut it down for this review. It's just absolute. I love this movie, and the end fight scene was spectacular. The script, the dialogue, some of the banter, some of the backwards and forwards banter in this movie, i.e. just to give you a short example before I wrap this review up. At the beginning of the movie, for the love of God, I dare you to try and say this 3 times fast. Hostage rescue negotiation situation. Hostage rescue negotiation situation. Hostage rescue negotiation situation. 4-man team, snipers. 2 of them are taking bets as to whether or not the mission's going to go smoothly. Again, for lack of better, recounting of what they're actually arguing about. 2 of them are just placing bets against each other as to whether or not the mission's going to go smoothly, whether or not the bad guys are going to show up and the exchange is going to go down correctly, to which point Quinn McKenna, played by Boyd Holbrook, is the leader of that group, and he comes across the radio, the camera pans on him, and he questions as to whether or not, "Are you morons actually taking bets as to whether or not this mission's going to go down smoothly?" At that point, you think he's about to say, get your mind on the, concentrate on the task at hand, get your game phases on. But no, he just says, just checking, I'm in for 20. So he's like, are you morons actually taking bets on as to whether or not this mission's going to go correctly? And they say, yeah. And he goes, just checking, in for 20. That sort of banter and that sort of tone throughout the movie, it happens a couple of times. It's really good, and it's very well done, and it's very well implemented. There are a couple of corny bits and a couple of, I don't know about that sort of those lines, but look, they're often met with a very exciting scene that you won't think about it for too long. The dialogue, the script, the movie, I loved it. Don't have a bad word to say about it, other than the ending, which I've talked about. That is going to do it for this review, Predator 2018. Let me know in the comment section what you thought of the movie. I imagine it's probably going to get pretty heated down there. I think I've roasted the comic book fanboys, so I'll no doubt get attacked for that. I was just like, come on, guys, chill out. That's it. That's literally all I've got to say. It was a great movie. Go and see it. It won't disappoint you. Again, if it does, you're probably a comic book fanboy, and you just whatever. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know down in the comment section, did you like the movie? Are you going to go and see it? Did you like my review? And that's it. Thank you for watching. Till the next one.